So, Giga Texas is here.
It's a real thing.
Now, I mean, Texas was already there, Austin was already there, but there was some mystery strip of land somewhere that was going to, unbeknownst to all of us, turn into a gigafactory, and now we finally know where that is going to be. So it is actually going to be right around Austin, Texas.
Yeah, we got this filing from Tesla in Travis County, and what did we learn from it? Well, the first thing is that Tesla is proposing to build a 4 to 5 million square foot manufacturing plant over the next 2 to 3 years, beginning in Q3 of 2020 in Travis County, within this 2,100 acre property called the Austin Green property, which is 1,369 of those acres. Currently, it's a sand and gravel mining site with a concrete batch plant on it. Now, you might be saying, oh, that's a pain. You have to get rid of that. If you're building a factory, you can use that.
Because you need concrete. So
right.
Instead of having to truck it in from very far away, you just say, hey, do you have like a funnel or a couple of buckets?
And then the concrete plant will eventually be relocated after the build. So Tesla is asking the school district there for what is called a Chapter 313 tax limitation. That would limit the amount of school taxes levied on Tesla by the Del Valle Independent School District during the first few years. That would save Tesla about $68 million over 10 years. And so they filed for this on June 3rd.
So wait, why would the school district want this? Why wouldn't they say, no, we want our $68 million in taxes?
So in many districts around the country, you've got, say, property taxes. Well, in Texas, in this particular county, they divide it out into its individual components, like school taxes. And so what Tesla's doing is they're asking the county to please let them not have to pay that for the first few years while they get up and running. You're right. Some people might say, well, you're just hurting the county. Well, not really, because in those first couple of years, you're not really growing the schools at all. Eventually you will, right? As those thousands of employees come to move into the county, they'll build and buy houses and put kids into the school system. But by then, Tesla will start paying their fair share of the tax. At least that's the theory.
And so this is kind of how big businesses function. You kind of have these tax incentives, especially in the beginning, and then you're going to be paying the tax later on, or at least in Tesla's case.
Right. So Tesla is acquiring 49 parcels of land, 2,100 acres, for about $5.3 million. And here you can see on the maps is where they're located. And then we dug deeper into this 86-page filing, and we found a couple interesting things. Tesla's filing with the Del Valle District shows here on page 57 the economic impact of the project. Over the next few years, what we're seeing is highlighted in yellow here. It appears that Tesla will be spending $67 million in 2020 and $246 million in 2021 on construction at the site. That would imply that construction of the buildings will be completed in 2021 and cost a total of $313 million. Now, column A here is personal property, like robots and conveyor belts and computers, things that you put into the factory.
And this would imply that even in 2020, Tesla would be spending $33 million on robots and machinery for inside the factory, with a total of $682 million spent on personal property through 2025. So if you total up all those columns, you get $995 million to be spent on this gigafactory by 2025.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, because if they're accurate, this gives you some sense of what it costs to fully build out a gigafactory. Now let's talk jobs. On page 59 of this application, it shows that the number of construction jobs that Tesla expects should be 900 jobs this year, 1,000 next year, and 800 in 2022. And it shows what Tesla expects the workforce at the factory to be.
350 this year, 2,000 next year, 3,500 in 2022, and 5,000 in 2023.
So, I mean, that's really interesting, because if these numbers are correct, then we're looking at a total workforce at the factory when it's fully up and running at about 5,000. Now, if you look at Fremont factory, you're looking at a workforce there of about 10,000. So is that because they're going to be a little bit more efficient at this factory and be able to, replace some workers with robots?
Well, keep in mind what's being produced at the Fremont factory. You've got the Model S, the Model X, the Model 3, and the Model Y. So it is a very, very, very big factory. And so there's lots and lots of components that are actually being produced at that factory specifically. And let's say that we were like lifting the Fremont factory and dropping it in Texas, which is a weird analogy, and let's say the Giga Texas only needs to make Model Y and Cybertruck, yeah, there could be quite a few improvements made in efficiency, but also there could just be fewer people that need to work there.
And then so it looks to me like Tesla is expecting the school district to vote on this proposal in September of 2020. And my guess is that Tesla wouldn't want to invest a whole lot in the property until they got that vote. Because if for some reason the school district decided not to give them that tax incentive, maybe they would still look elsewhere. I don't know.
And so to be hypothetical, let's say that, they don't get this tax abatement and Tesla could still shop around. Like for people who are a big Tesla Tulsa fans who want the Gigafactory to be located in Oklahoma, there could still be a chance.
Right, because they could sell their property back for probably what they paid. And if they put some improvements on it, maybe they would actually get that back by some company that wanted the improvements. It's really tough living in this world full of bad news.
Why not share this with your friends and family to cheer them up and give them hope?
Sharing this clip is easy. That's why we made them. Short and to the point. Just hit the share button below, copy the link into your emails or social media posts, and thanks.
Now you know.